We have our Food 24 wine expert, Cathy Marston, in studio, who's going to give us the lowdown on red wines. Cathy, why don't you give me a red wine 101?
Okay, no problems. We've got a lot of red wines that we make here in South Africa, and quite a lot of different grape varieties. I'm just going to talk about 2 or 3 this morning. And really, it's all about trying to find the style of wine that you like. So I say with red wines, it kind of roughly divides into the sort of the smooth style or the spicy style. Okay. So if you want smooth, then I think you should be looking at things like Merlots or Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon blends. And what they're going to give you is a lot of dark berried fruit, lovely blackberries and blackcurrants and dark plums and everything, and quite a lot of tannin if they have quite a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon. Now what's tannin? People don't always know that. If you ever make a cup of tea and you leave the tea bag in the cup for too long, you know it has like a scum like on the sort of the outside, the inside of the cup. That's actually tannin.
Is it a little bit bitter?
It is, yeah. It makes your mouth go a bit sort of dog's bum kind of thing. Okay, but tannin's really important. If you don't have tannin in a red wine, it's kind of like drinking alcoholic jam, and it's not really worthwhile. No, you need some tannin for backbone, and that's what you will get from a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon, not quite so much from Merlot. If you find that the tannin is too much, if it's really drying your mouth out, a really good tip is to actually try and have it with some food, particularly some salty food, and the salt will actually counteract the tannin in the wine
that's a great
as well.
idea.
So that's, have a nice well-seasoned steak or something like that. And then the other styles of wines that you can look at are what I call sort of the spicy wines. And that would be Shiraz and Pinotage very much. So Shiraz itself is just a very spicy grape variety. It's got all these lovely perfume flavours and black pepper and white pepper and quite often some sort of, I always think of some, when you're drinking Shiraz, there's things like salami and cold meats and all those kind of peppery kinds of foods go really, really well. And you'll get a lot of that profile as well from Pinotage too, so a lot of the spiciness will come through. The other style of Pinotage that is very popular, and a lot of people are loving it, is what they call the choc coughs.
It's very popular
chocolate
now.
Coffee.
Everybody is drinking this chocolate coffee Pinotage.
And we have Cappuccino Chinotage and Mocha and Java and all these cool names. Basically what happens though, it's very simple. They've actually, while the fermentation process has been going on, it's been taking place in a big tank, and they've had very toasty planks of wood inside that tank. And there's a chemical reaction with the wood and between the wood and the fermentation sort of esters, and it just gives it this really nice chocolate coffee kinds of flavours.
That's really good.
And people love it. It's nice and easy to identify. You can match it really well to foods. Some people don't like it. I've got to confess that I'm not the biggest fan, but that's mainly because I don't like coffee.
Okay.
But apart from that, it's a nice way to get into drinking red wines, and they're generally very soft. They don't have very high tannins, and they're quite fun and quite easy for beginners to start on.
And what about the Pinotages that aren't coffee or chocolate flavored?
I think you're looking at quite a spicy fruit profile from there as well. Pinotage is a very versatile grape. So look at how much you're spending. If you're not spending an awful lot of money, at the lower end, sort of 30 to 50 rand, you've got a lot of Pinotages that don't add a lot of oak, so they don't make them very, very dry. They're soft, they're easy drinking. You could try something like Ken Forrester's Petit Pinotage, which doesn't have very much oak on it, if any at all. And they're nice and everyday drinking wines, very, very good for summer. And then at the top end, if you're going to spend 200, 300, 400 rand, you're going to get something that's really serious, that's got lovely tannins, a lot of elegance to it, and can last for a very long time. And you can keep those a very long time. I've had some Pinotages from the 1950s that have actually been really, really lovely.
I can't imagine opening something from the 1950s or even the 1980s.
Well, they say that if you're going to drink a wine that's old, you have to actually stand up in respect to it. So when you're drinking a wine that's 20, 30, 40, however old you may be, if it's older than you have to stand up in respect to that wine.
I'll keep that in mind.
So yeah, there you go.
And I want to talk temperatures. A lot of people don't really know what temperature to keep their red wines at. Can you help us out?
Sure. Well, most red wines should be served at room temperature, but unfortunately that's kind of European room temperature.
Yes, this is what I tell everyone.
This is a real problem, I know, which actually means between about 15 and 18 18 degrees centigrade. Now obviously room temperature in South Africa, if it's 18 degrees centigrade, we're all wearing big coats inside because we're cold. Yes. But that's actually the temperature that you should be serving your red wines at. So if you can and you can afford it, then I would advise you to try and get a red wine fridge and keep all your red wines in there. If you can't afford it, and most of us can't or don't get around to doing that, I would either put your red wines in the fridge just for maybe like sort of 20 minutes, half an hour before you actually want to serve them. Otherwise, having said that, if you don't have tannins, your wine's going to turn into sort of alcoholic jam. If you are serving a red wine at about 25, 28, 30 degrees centigrade, it's kind of like having alcoholic soup. So
nobody wants
try and chill them down just a little bit if you can, and you'll enjoy it a bit more. Don't go too much. There are some red wines that you can chill down like as if they were a white wine, but don't go too crazy or your tannins are just going to go a bit aggressive.
So probably about 30 minutes in the fridge.
Yeah, about that. Just to take the edge off them, and then that'll be lovely.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.